Hey there, this is going to be hopefully about a 3-minute video. I've received a bunch of questions this week about whether or not people are doing their interviews correctly. I hoped that the readings would give you the confidence to know what kinds of questions you need, but I am very happy to go over this with you so that if you still have any questions, hopefully you can get them answered and feel secure that you've done what it is that I am wanting you to do. So let's take a look at the 3 kinds of categories of information that you need to get covered in a volunteer job interview. All right, there are 3 categories right here. The first is this candidate qualified? The second is the candidate going to be a good fit for your organization? And third, what does the candidate want from the volunteer experience? So you guys did great job descriptions down to the nitty-gritty details. And so this interview is your chance to figure out whether or not they actually meet all the qualifications that you wrote into your job description. You came up with skills that they needed, background experience that they needed. You probably noted how much time you were hoping they would be able to give to the volunteer position and so forth. Ask pointed questions that get at finding out whether they have, in fact, what you need. The second one's a little harder to get at, and open-ended questions are probably the best way to go about this. And that is this candidate going to be a good fit for your organization? You want to know, does the candidate have your passion for the mission? Are they going to actually be comfortable working in your organization? Are you going to be comfortable working around them? In other words, would your team enjoy having this person fit? Asking open-ended questions is probably the best way to get at this information. Invite them to tell you stories about times when they've enjoyed working in other volunteer capacities and things like that. And you will hear enough about them that you should be able to find out some of these things. And lastly, you need to find out what the candidate wants for themselves in this volunteer role. Everybody has motivations for volunteering. They say there's about 19 or 20 different motivations, and none of them are particularly wrong. The important thing is for you to figure out which motivation or multiple motivations this particular candidate has. So for 2 reasons. One is because if it's something you can't give them, they won't be happy and they won't last long, so you should just be able to let them know that up front. And the second reason is if it's something you can give them, you want to be sure you know what that is, because while they're busy helping you, you want to also make sure that their needs are met so that everybody will be satisfied and the relationship will be a success. Now let's take a look at some different questions that I made up actually that fall into these different 3 categories just to give you some comfort. All right, so here you go. I'm going to just park it here for a couple minutes, or you can stop the video and just read through some of these questions. These are the kind of questions that you would want to ask, of course, tailored to your specific job that you have created. And that's it, folks. I'm sure you're going to do fine.